By the end of this video, you will know how to grow and influence no matter where you are at. You will have a massive impact in your finances. You will have a massive impact in your marriage, in your relationships, with your family and other people. You will have a massive impact in your business and in your life. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That will let me know to make more videos like this one. So before I share with you how I was able to grow and influence no matter where I am at, before I was really actually very shy. I was a very shy person. I was broke. I didn't know how to communicate with other people. I had a lot of resentment in my heart and bitterness towards others. I kept records of wrongs. I was just very unfulfilled and very miserable, all because of my lack of knowing how to communicate with other people, my lack of knowing how to present myself. Yeah, my life sucked pretty much. It did. And it was all because I just didn't know how to communicate with other people. And that is so huge that this world, the way that it is today, it's very, very bad is because of lack of communication. I do believe that the reason why there's tons of divorces going on, abortions, all this crazy shit is because of lack of communication, and we were not taught any of this stuff in school on knowing how to communicate with other people, because every single day we have to deal with people. Whether you're an engineer, whether you work behind a computer in a cubicle, you still have to deal with people. Why? Because money comes from people, first of all. That's where money comes from. And when we learn how to respect and honor other people and knowing how to do that, which is very simple, by the way, it's not rocket science. Even a 5-year-old could do it. Literally, when you know how to grow and influence and know how to communicate with other people, you will live a stress-free life, and you will have tons and tons of referrals coming your way. Because when I learned all of this at my job, I was able to double my income in my job. I became the most #1 recommended person in what it is that I was doing. I raised up leaders. I also was able to I had the most referrals out of anyone in my department, bonuses and commissions every single month, high bonuses. Until this day, I still follow, those principles, but it has literally helped me to become very financially independent today because of how I am able to grow and influence the right way. So if you are excited about that, again, hit that like button and let's get to it. So if you've fallen off in some of these steps, that's okay. That's why I always rely on this kind of training to be able to get myself up whenever I am falling off track and things like that. So number one, your product is not what you are selling. Hate to break it to you. Your product is people. And why? Kind of like what I said before. Money comes from people. So your product is the person that is in front of you. That is who your product is. It's not what you are selling. It's not real estate. It's not insurance. It's not vitamins. It's not any of those things. It's not fitness. None of that. Your product is people. And one of the most phenomenal advice that I've ever gotten from my mentor, multimillionaire today, she said, when you learn more about people than you do anything else, you will be unusually successful. And I'm like, well, definitely people is my weakest area and I want to be successful. So if I make if I make people my product, I know that I'm making a difference and an impact and changing the world around me. Because if it's always about you and being selfish and things like that, you can only go so far with having, a mentality like that. And I say that from experience. I'm a completely different human being today because of this particular thing. So I made the person that is in front of me my product. So how do you make people your product? So first of all, I just want to make sure that you understand that everyone is in sales, including you. Even if you're a full-time mom, you have the hardest job in the world, you are in sales. How are you in sales if you're a mom, for example? Well, if your kid doesn't eat the vegetables, you suck at sales. Sorry to break it to you. If your kids doesn't eat the vegetables or they don't do what you ask them to do, time to do well in that area when it comes to sales. Everyone is involved in sales. I'm in sales, you're in sales, whether again you're an engineer or you own a landscaping company, you are in sales. But this video will teach you how to sell in a way that you're not crazy, creepy, or just drive people away from you. It's a professional type of sales. It's not the car lot salesperson that tries to sell you, doesn't nothing know about you, doesn't care about you, but just your credit card. I will teach you how to sell without selling, and I'll get more into that as you continue to watch this video. So, how do you make people your product? Well, you have to focus on, just like I focus on, relationship over business. The more you focus on relationships, business follows. And why do I say that? If you make relationship your first priority and who you come in contact with, you will realize what they need in their life. They may not need what you have, but they definitely need something. Everyone needs something, so you can either help them with what you offer, or you help them by recommending a certain service or product for them. But more than likely, a higher chance they're going to need what you have. But how do you do that? Relationship. How do you create a relationship? I'll get more into it as you continue to watch this video. So relationship first, then business follows. Why? Because people want to trust you. No one wants to buy from you if they don't trust you. It's crazy. You're talking from a woman that did sales in the previous time, and it's called a one-call close. A one-call close. I was able to close people by just one phone call, and it was mainly cold calling, but I was able to master that. I'm not saying you should go out and master. I mean, if you can, shoot, you can do anything after that. But if you find out what people want, you will be unusually successful. And people are not loyal to products. They're not loyal to services. They're not loyal to any of that. People are loyal to people. People want relationships. But unfortunately, we live in a world that we don't know how to communicate with one another. We want relationships, but we're not willing to learn how to create a very trustworthy relationship and knowing how to communicate for people to trust us. Therefore, we are where we're at today. So people are not loyal to any of that. They are loyal to people. People are loyal to other people. For example, we look at famous people today. The reason why they're famous is because it's not their talent. I would hear crazy things out there, crazy music that I don't even know what they're saying. There's clearly some of them don't have talent. Some do, but some don't. But if you think about it, for the people that don't have talent are one of the biggest influencers in this world. I don't want to start naming names, but I'm sure you can start thinking of a few. And why? Because of the people that are around them. Because of the people that they know. We hear this before. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And that is so true. Who they know is how they're able to get there, by who they know, and they were able to build relationships and influences around it. So it's not based on talent, it's based on who they know. So that was pretty powerful. All right, number 2, and this is something that we can talk about all day, but number 2 is smile. Yeah, smile. I used to not smile a lot, actually. When I was little, I had crooked teeth, so I had no reason to smile. But whether you are missing some teeth, whether your teeth have spinach on them, smile. Because what does smile bring? Imagine someone smiling at you right now. How does that make you feel? First of all, the person that is smiling, it brings confidence to them. You feel more confident and changes your entire demeanor when you smile. And another great benefits from smiling is that it makes you 10 years younger from smiling, and it also pays you a lot of smiling. I'm sorry. Smiling pays you a lot of money. Why? Because money comes from people, and people want to see smiles. It brings light into them. It makes them feel as though they are important, they are appreciated, they're special. So when we do those things to other people, we will have everything we could ever want in our lives. But Natalie, I don't like people. Well, that is something that you got to work on, because I definitely did. I was not able to grow an influence at all because I was entitled. I had an attitude. I mean, sometimes I still have an attitude today. But I'm working on it, right? I'm a human being. I'm going to screw up. It's not about being perfect. It's just bringing that light to someone's day. I have many encounters that when I smile to someone, they're no longer suicidal. Crazy as that is, they're no longer suicidal because I smile. So imagine if you can just do that, smiling for people. Like I said, it changes your demeanor, you're more confident, your speech is totally different. If you're working in sales over the phones, I did that before as well. Till this day I still do. If you smile over the phone, you will make a lot of money. I'm just gonna leave it at that, because that has helped me to make a lot of money by smiling on the phone with people when you're in some sort of sales and things like that. Give it a try. And when you smile, it stirs up curiosity among others. Like, why is he smiling, or why is she smiling? I kind of want to know what's going on in their lives, you know? You bring this curiosity that they just are so provoked to knowing what it is that you do in your life, and it just becomes with smiling. But Natalie, I have nothing to smile about. Well, just stay where you're at then. Stay where you're at, because it's, satisfaction and joy and fulfillment doesn't come from outside things. It comes from within. So if we smile, we are reaping what we are sowing. Therefore, it's just, to me, smiling makes a whole lot of sense to do. And smiling equals money. Feelings often lie. So if you don't feel like smiling, your feelings are pretty much lying. It's for someone that can't smile, it does play a victim mentality that you're waiting for someone to make you smile. If you want to live your life like that, which I did for the longest, it doesn't create very great results, honestly, and stay stuck. So start smiling. And smiling actually helps you to lose weight as well, which is the craziest thing. It helps you to lose weight because you're burning much more calories when you smile, which is the craziest thing. It's all scientifically proven. If you want to do more research on that, but that's what smiling does. I highly recommend smiling all the time, even if you're having a crappy day. All right, right here. Smile. Okay, so the next one. This is huge, and I didn't know this one either. Number 3 is friends first. So what does that mean? Friends first, right? So if you're in sales, whether it's one-on-one, personal, like in person or over the phones, when you make your prospect a friend of yours, they are so compelled to hearing you out. They're so compelled to getting what it is that you offer because you have made them as a friend. If you think of this person right now, someone that just brings so much light into your life, someone that you get so happy, especially when they call you, you cannot wait to get coffee with them, that person. If you make that same introduction with that friend of yours that you just love hearing from, and you make that same interaction with every person that you come in contact with, holy moly, you will have a boost of referrals coming your way. Why do I say that? Well, a previous client, I made him as my friend first, and we were in a very professional setting and things like that. You can still be friends with someone and still be professional. I did the introduction of how he's a friend of mine, and next thing you know, he sends me an Excel sheet of 3 pages of solar companies that were referrals. 3 pages, I'm pretty sure it was about 2,000 solar companies that he has sent me to because of what I'm sharing with you. Boost of referrals. Make them your friend first. You know, like if you call someone and you just sound like everybody else, like a telemarketer, if you sound like everybody else, you won't stand out. They're not going to trust you. You have to be different and be memorable than everyone else. And that is by making them friends. Be friends with them in the beginning. So it's incredible. And when you do that, you completely disarm them. So for example, if you're making phone calls, because you have a product or service and you do phone calls for your business to grow, when you immediately put yourself in a position where you know that they're your friend, even though you never met them, but they're your friend, and you say, "Hey Sally," or "Hey Ben," or "Hey Carmen," instead of saying, "Is Carmen available? Are they available? Bye. I don't trust you," especially if you're talking to a spouse that you're trying to get a hold of, the other spouse. They're not going to trust you. When you make them your friend first, they will trust you. So you also want to create an eager desire for someone to do what it is that you want them to do. So all this information that I'm telling you, if you do it with a manipulative heart, it's not going to be good for you. I'm going to tell you this right now. When you do it out of good gesture, out of good heart, out of good intentions, that's what you will reap back. But if you reap manipulation and control, you will reap that back, and you are going to have a very, very hard life. So what I'm sharing with you is for good intentions. Create an eager desire for someone to do something. I have people telling me, like, how do you, like, the way Natalie, the way you motivate people is like phenomenal. How do you do that? I find out what you want, what you need, and I do a win-win situation for you. What is it that you need? All right, let's do this together. It's not because what I want. No, I take the time to get to know you. I get the time to ask questions. I get the time to do all these things for it to be a mutual beneficial, relationship, things like that. So create an eager desire for someone to do something. For example, we've all encountered flight attendants that are mean and just weird and mean and wenchy, right? They'll be like, turn that off, close that off. Like they talk to you as if you're a child. Thank God today I'm more patient than I was ever before, but that still gets to me, right? But when you're that flight attendant, you say, please turn that off, sir. I know it seems like a crazy idea for you to do, but please, if you don't mind just turning that off, that would be great. That creates an eager desire for someone. Instead of saying, "Do it, you dummy," or something like that. No one wants to hear that from anybody. No one likes to be told what to do. But when you create that eager desire and with a smile and understanding, they will be motivated to do what it is that you asked them. Number 4, I can do a whole video of, if you really want me to, because it can get very, very in detail. So just let me know in the comments below if it's a video that you want me to do a whole video on for this next point, which is number 4, and it's called FORM. That is FORM. So what does that mean? This means family, occupation, recreation, and message. So what does that mean, Natalie? Well, when you start getting to know someone by asking questions, that's really how you form a relationship, is by asking questions. You ask them about their family, you ask them about what they do for a living, you ask them about what they do for fun, and then message is what you tell them as far as what you offer. So this would be a lot better if I had someone with me and I can demonstrate it with you. I'm pretty sure I'll probably ask my boyfriend to demonstrate this. I will have to find an eager desire for him to do it. It would be a lot better if I did demonstrate it. That's why I ask if you want me to do it of another video, I will. But yes, it's just about asking people about family, recreation, occupation, and message. So for example, if I were to talk to you and I had asked you all these questions, hey, how many siblings do you have? What do you do for fun? What do you do at work? What do you like about that? What you don't like about that? If there's anything in your profession that you would change, what would it be? Do you see yourself in that profession forever? I'm asking you these things. So let's pretend that I did, and now I have collected your responses. So I would say, you know what, Sally, it's crazy because you told me that, you're not very satisfied in your job, and you want better relationships with your uncles and aunts and your cousins. I don't know if my company is something that you're looking for, but maybe perhaps you know of someone that is looking to be in a better, better position in their jobs, have a career change, have better relationships with their family and in their marriage. You may have known someone that it is looking for that. When is a good time that I can reach out to you? Maybe perhaps you can help me out as far as who would be, open into receiving all of that. There is no hesitation that they will give you their number. I have people, even if I just smile, even if I make them their friend, even if I make them my friend first, and we have this trust and relationship going on, they are provoked to give me their phone number. I don't longer ask, they just do. Number 4, message is like, hey, you may know someone. I know it's not completely for you. I know you're so satisfied in what you have going on in your life, but you may know someone that when's a good time, and you get a phone number. So if you have problems getting people's phone numbers, that is a great strategy to do. So if you want me to go more in detail, again, I can do a whole new video of that. Just let me know down in the comments. All right, and number 5 is what I was saying earlier, asking questions. A person who is asking all the questions is in control of the conversation. I'm sure you heard that before, but it's so true. The more questions you ask, you will find out what it is that they need and want, and that way you have something that could benefit them. But first is asking questions and not assuming. The worst thing that anybody can do is assume. Assume that person needs what you have. Wrong. So wrong. I've come encountered to some people too that they don't need what I have. They don't. They're not an ideal client that I'm looking for, and that is amazing. That's perfectly fine. So you know what I do? Yes, I recommend them to my competitor, or not necessarily a competitor, I just recommend them somewhere else that knows it's a better fit for them. So not everybody is going to need what you have. It's just bottom line. When you reach everybody, you're going to have nobody. Asking questions. When you put yourself out of the equation and gosh, this drives me crazy. That's why I wanted to be a person that would master this, is that one of my pet peeves, and I'm working on forgiveness on it, but one of my pet peeves is that when someone is trying to sell me something, and all they do is they talk about how great the product is and how great they are. If you have come and encountered of a situation like that, let me know in the comments below. It feels like you want to take a shower right after. Like, they're saying how great they are. They're talking about themselves. They know nothing about me, and they're assuming that I'm this, that I'm that, and that I need what they have. Horrible. Ugh, gross. Pet peeve, get out. So yes, be different. Be different. Ask questions. Which brings me to the next point. Listening. Listening is such an executive skill that anyone can master. Some people it's, second nature to them. Other people, they have to work extra harder on it. Yeah. Till this day, I still call my friends, follow up with my friends or my clients or whatever in prospects, and they don't know. At the end of the call, if it's a friend, they'll be like, wait, hold on, Natalie, wait, how are you doing? Why? Because I'm literally focusing on them and what they need, and I find ways on how to be able to be a giver to them. Because multi-billionaires, billionaires, mega wealthy persons, or people, I'm sorry, so fired up right now. Wealthy people today are givers. They don't have to be flashy. They don't have to talk about themselves. They don't care. They just care on how they can be a valuable asset into someone's life. And this is another pet peeve. Okay, so listening is not waiting for the other person to finish and then you can start talking. That's not listening. Listening is also not listening to someone that has something interesting to say. It's not. everyone is in their path and whatever's, and I love people where they are at, but there's still some pet peeves that I'm still dealing with. Yeah. So when I encounter people, and I probably still do this, but when I encounter people that, they'll ask me questions, they're talking, and then they're controlling the conversation where they want to be interested in talking about, then they start talking about themselves, and I'm like, well, what the hell am I here for? Have you ever felt that way? If you did, let me know. Like, why'd you ask me this? So you can talk about yourself? When I come encounter of those things, it reminds me to be different. It reminds me as to why I want to master the art of listening. Listen. You will start to understand that when you start listening, people actually solve their own problems. Isn't that crazy? So you didn't have to do no lip service for them. You didn't have to waste your breath for them. No. People can solve their own problems if you just listen. If you can take anything away from this video today, become the best listener in the world. It's honestly, just listening is going to change your whole entire life. I swear. Because we live such in a distracted, noisy world. When you just listen, even if you don't know how to help them, even if you do know how to help them, but you just listen, and if you don't know how to help them, but you just listen, man, people will trust you forever. People will freaking follow you no matter where you go by just listening. Also, listening is not when you ask them, what do you like to do for fun? Oh, I like to do hair, for example. I like to do hair. Oh yeah, I hate it. I don't like to do hair. Off. That's horrible. Why are you talking about yourself? Oh, what do you like to do? I like to, I don't know, plant. I like to plant. Oh man, I don't like it. Yeah. Don't do that. Just don't. So another point is direct eye contact. So when you're asking questions, when you're smiling, when you're nodding, and direct eye contact, they'll trust you, man. They'll trust you beyond words. So eye contact is also important. Also, something that I've learned too, we're all right now in a crisis. Crisis is going to happen no matter what we do. Crises are going to happen by default, but the ones who build relationships when it was good times, the ones who build relationships, they will not receive the famine. So what does that mean? When the crisis hit, of the COVID-19, I didn't freak out. I did, and I was like, okay, yeah, I understand that these things happen, and it's about being wise and being prepared, because crises are going to happen anyways. But the people who focus on relationships more than anything, I'm not going to be stirred by crisis. When trust is established, the answer is always yes. When trust is developed, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. So focus on trust, my friend. This is exactly how to grow and influence and build trust with people. The next point, compliment. Yes, compliment is the greatest icebreaker there is. Concerning people, you are not the issue. You are not the issue at all. If you compliment someone by their ensemble, how they look, even if someone dyed their hair bright, bright orange, and that's not your taste, that doesn't mean anything. You're not the issue. You compliment. Now, there's going to be people that are not going to be able to know how to receive it, and that's totally fine. But when you compliment, when you encourage, when you say something great, man, it's a great icebreaker. I'm telling you, they just want to know more about, they just want to be more involved in your life. When you just compliment something right quick, it's a great icebreaker. That's something that I do when I want to approach someone or start a conversation with. Before, I didn't really care about any of that. But when you get into business, or when you want to increase your income, or when you want to have live a stress-free life, have more peace in your life, have money saved, all this kind of stuff, you're going to do these things. So when I want to start a conversation, I compliment. Hey, I like your shoes. Hey, I like your hair. I remember yesterday, I was at CVS wanting to get I forgot even what the name of it is, but she was able to help me. Why? Like, hey, went up to her, hey, I'm looking for something that does this, this, and that. I really don't know what the name of it is, but do you mind helping me out? I'm smiling. I'm eager desire. She's like, yeah. Oh, and guess what? I said, I like your hair. For all I know, that woman could have had a horrible day. For all I know, she could have been suicidal. I don't know. And that's okay if I don't know. But I'm willing to extend a compliment. Why? Because if my standards are so stinking high, who the heck I am to not do that? Oof, irks me. I will compliment. The greatest icebreaker there is, and people are so compelled to do anything for you because of a good heart, good intention. So compliment. The video just went on way too long. But lastly, body language. How your body language is. If I approached you and I'm like, scared, shy, like you're gonna think I'm a weirdo. Body language is everything, and it also changes your posture. It changes from feeling like total bum to confidence. And another huge thing when it comes to communication, body language is communication. Body language. So 93% of all communication is non-verbal. Smiling is non-verbal. Listening is non-verbal. It's still communication. Communicating is not talking. I mean, it's part of it, but learning the skills to knowing how to communicate and grow an influence, 93% of all communication is non-verbal. Body language. If I'm talking to you and you're very lively and you love live and things like that, and I'm like this, you're gonna run away. And if you're a professional and you don't want me to be all over your face, have your space, honor, respect. Body language is everything. If you're feeling stuck, I'd love to help. Reach me at nathalie.lazo@gmail.com and let me know how I can best help you. Also, I would recommend this training heavily, so the link is below for you. Every time I fall off track, I always rely on this type of training because it's always highly needed. Repetition is a mother of all skill. The link is below for you. Check out this video next on the way of integrity and why you should stop doing what you're supposed to. The link is below in the description for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Have a great day and see you later.